Hey guys, it's Will. So today we're going to jump into KULR stock, and things have changed for those invested in KULR for a couple reasons. We can look over here on Space Tech. This is our watch list over here at StockMate. You can see Rocket Companies was up a little bit. LMT was up. We saw XTIA down big on their stock split, 9%. KULR down big as well. It's down 10%. Now that trade here is looking even more bearish. You can see right here, that's kind of how the trend looks. It's not having any indication of a recovery. But let's take a look here. There's a couple things we want to carefully look at with KULR stock. Do you guys see this chart right here? You see how this looks? I'm going to go ahead and drop in another chart here that you guys could look at. This is Bitcoin. Let's drop into Bitcoin. How does Bitcoin look? Wow, that looks oddly similar. See that recovery right there at end of day? Pretty similar, right? Well, now we're starting to see what is a slight indirect correlation to Bitcoin. So we'll see what's up, because you can see the past week, you can see KULR and Bitcoin actually looking very similar into the last week. So part of that is because KULR stock changed the dynamics of how and why people might invest in them. You see, they have acquired $42 million in Bitcoin, and that is about, I think it's about 20 times their net income. Let's take a look at their financials. We could see their net income was negative 2 million. Their earnings were looking better quarter over quarter. We'll see how quarter four looks. But when you see that net income negative 2 million, they are $42 million into Bitcoin at an average price on Bitcoin of $98,000. So you might say, why KULR stock is one that you want to consider? Well, there's a few things that make KULR stock quite interesting. The first thing is we could see Bitcoin as kind of this direct or indirect, value that is going to impact how KULR does. Now that they've put 20 times their net income into what is Bitcoin and 90% of their cash reserves, the movements we see on Bitcoin could mimic that of KULR stock. So what we saw here was this consolidation, right? You see this consolidation that's happening here on Bitcoin. This is something that they just recently, if you could look here, this sell-off from 102,000 down to here. You could look on KULR stock, kind of a similar play from $5. No, actually, it would be right here. This $3.90 down to $1.81. But the thing about KULR stock, outside of the financials, and we look at three things when we're analyzing a stock, right? We have KULR's financials, which we just looked at for a second, but overall, we're seeing improvement year over year. Net income still a little bit negative, negative 2 million. Their net profit margins were up year over year, but still down on the quarter, 62%. You can see the net in cash about negative 104K, nothing too concerning. But the thing that was a bold move is that they're buying so much Bitcoin. So now we see they bought all that Bitcoin that was back really in end of December, and then now I think it was about a few days ago, they acquired another $21 million in Bitcoin. So in total, about $42 million. And you see right now, they just made a move that was quite interesting after hours. You see this sell-off that had led all the way to this previous resistance down here at $1 and about 80 cents. Yep, $1.81 is where it bounced today. Start to see it push up a little bit after hours. What we'll have to see is if this is just another, pullback before continuing down, or if it's actually validating that, and now we're actually going to see that overall direction maybe even continue in its upward direction. If it continues, obviously there's a few levels that we'd have to break through because of this massive trend down that we've seen. In order for it to continue up, let's say it gets to previous highs, that's a 200% increase. What would likely happen if we're going to see it push or knock on the door of any bullish levels, it would have to be right here around this 200 or $2.65 range, which would be about a 25% increase from its current price, a little bit more than that. And that is something that we'd have to see it break above before really having any indication of bulls. If it broke above that $2.65 range, let's say it continued to push up tomorrow in some bullish feet, then it would cross over this moving average. It would cross over. It just jumped above this EMA, the exponential moving average. You see that? So that's quite interesting to see that happen, especially on this previous resistance. So technicals are looking kind of promising on that. And I wouldn't say promising, but I'd say a tiny bit of hope there for people that are holding KULR stock and maybe hoping that it rebounds in the near term. Long term looks very good. Near terms, we've had a lot of volatility, and so people have been trading it. I mean, this swing right here, had you bought, let's say, that dip at market open, that recovery right there would have been 20%. So that's what we commonly see with KULR stock. See, even when it's in this bearish trend, a lot of the big moves happen right at market open. They sell off and continue up. That's something that we're going to be looking at inside of our market open session. If you guys want to join us live, it's StockMate in that second link down below. And I encourage you to take a look there. But when we're talking about KULR as a company, they have a lot of great news around their technology. They're working with Army, Navy. They're working with the Department of Defense. You could look at some of their partnerships on their website here. You got NASA, Lockheed Martin, Department of Transportation, and Federal Aviation. Now, not only are they in the battery space, they're also bridging that gap between the traditional batteries with batteries that can withstand extreme temperatures in space. So that's something that they are doing, and maybe will make a big difference for them if they continue to get momentum. They have that SpaceX rideshare mission in 2026. They also are working on some drone tech for the Army that, if they do very well at optimizing that tech for the drones, then maybe that plays into other industries. We've seen a lot of companies go towards drones, including Amazon, definitely looking at package delivery with drones. You see that NVIDIA is kind of the cornerstone backbone for what is this company's growth. And a lot of people don't realize that, but when you look at the overall semiconductor space and how they played a role in the development of new technology, the thing that we're mostly looking at here tomorrow at market open is going to see if we do validate this previous resistance. That's all you can really look for when you're looking at the technicals here. And if it does, then we will take advantage of that opportunity at market open. If you guys would like to watch me trade live tomorrow morning, I'd encourage you to check out StockMate. Again, it's that second link down below. For those of you guys that are getting values out of these quick analysis, I would encourage you to hit that like button. Do consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.